Stakeholders come with their own perspectives on what are the most important things to be doing. For example, sales, naturally, they want to keep existing clients happy as these have been hard won. They're also seeking to entice new customers who will no doubt want features that are not already present. A CTO wants stability, scalability, and efficiency so the platform can cope with increasing demand from more users and data flows in a technology environment. A chief operating officer wants to support the operations team to prevent reputational impacting issues and will value uptime and stability. How do we manage all of these competing expectations and interests? Similarly, teams may be getting bogged down by the expectation to work on too many things at once and thus not completing features and they're being spread too thin. I know I've been there in the past. The result can be demoralized teams who are not getting anything meaningful done. So looking at a solution here, the best place to start is to list out the list of problems that the business needs to solve. And every firm will have a very long list of these. And this list will always be bigger than there is time and staff capacity to work on them. So the next task is to use a bit of technique to whittle down the list to something that is manageable both in the short and the medium term. So roughly, there's a three-step approach to getting on top of what are the most important things to be doing. And this is really applicable for smaller firms, but big firms too. So firstly, a list of problems to solve and the expected outcomes. Second, the secret sauce of how to prioritize, and I'll elaborate on that. Thirdly, product discovery. So the list of problems to solve and their expected outcomes. There really is something cathartic about writing up that list of problems to solve and their expected outcomes. Yet in many cases, these can already be getting framed as solutions. So recalibrating the work of a team as a problem from the perspective of a customer becomes a way to add this to the list of problems and also ensure it's got a financial value. Other problems for the list may include things that you must do, such as preparing for a new regulation that's coming into force. Now, the secret sauce of how to prioritize, that's our second item on the list. So each item on that list of problems needs to have a value either in terms of revenue protection or revenue generation. A CTO pushing to improve architecture that will allow the platform to scale up and have less downtime does have a financial value as well as goodwill for client reputation and retention. There's nothing quite like clients talking you up at an industry event if you do this well. Once each item has been given a cost estimate, and at this stage it's just for guidance, the next step is to determine the commercial viability. So if a new feature for revenue generation has a net present value of less than zero, then it isn't worth doing. That's just an objective fact that everyone can sign up to. And this helps us to force rank at least the top, say, 5 items. And it's important that at least within a single month, that list of top 5 is not adjusted. Any new ideas that come through from an excited stakeholder need to go through a disciplined review process to make sure that they have commercial viability. Now, the third item in our approach here is product discovery. So each of the problems on the list are now force ranked, meaning there are teams assigned to work on each item. So a single team works on a single problem. So it's a one-to-one relationship. Teams need to have product managers who understand the client perspective and the business domain, as well as having the financial acumen to know the viability of the outcome to your business. The next step is for the team then to work on how they turn the problem into a solution, which is known as product discovery. It's important that leadership avoid trying to apply solutions here, much as they would like to. And they only need to articulate the what that frames the problem. Next is to craft an outcome. For example, we want to have 5 new clients using this feature by the end of Q4, and that it earns us, say, 500K. So you've given a fairly crisp outcome. So then working with a problem statement on the outcome, the team can then figure out how to solve the problem. Crucially, they need to have enough information gathered in this product discovery process to give a time estimate. This is a must-have. Without a time frame, it will always be an estimate. The team lacks credibility. Clients, investors, and stakeholders need to know when something is planned to come to market. Once that has been communicated back and a solution agreed, the team can then get on with delivering the solution that customers love and that brings fast financial value. So to wrap this up, the focus of what your business needs to be doing can be encapsulated in a single list of problems with expected outcomes. And then prioritization comes down to what are the most critical problems to solve that will both delight customers and be good for your business in terms of the outcomes. And this can also include must-do problems such as compliance or improving stability. Once you give a problem to a team, trust them to do the product discovery and find a solution to make an informed estimate so they can commit to a realistic delivery date. The key here is making sure a single team is not solving multiple problems at once, otherwise nothing gets done and morale suffers. Offering really business critical problems generates great outcomes. Confidence amongst employees soars and they know they're doing something really significant for your customers and your business.